Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to World of Warships Legends. You're here on the home of the slightly above average trademark World of Warships Legends ship review. We are doing a tech tree spotlight of the new Russian Tier 4 tech tree destroyer, the Soobrazitelny. Can I get a minute? The Soobrazitelny is a 7U, Project 7U destroyer. That's an improvement of the Ganevi class. The Ganevi is a tier 5. How did an improvement of the Ganevi class end up a tier 4? Only Wargaming knows. Let's get another minute. Did you know the name of the 7U destroyer class is not Soobrazitelny? It's not. It's Storozhevoy. But instead, they made some World War One torpedo boat, the Storozhevoy, when this ship should be called the Storozhevoy. Furthermore, the Storozhevoy launched on 2 October 38. This ship was part of the Baltic Fleet. According to Wikipedia, launched 26 August 1939. So, when Wargaming tries to feed you that horse shit, that ship classes are named after the lead ship of the class, that's really only when they feel like it or when they're too stupid they realize they fucked it up. You tell me. Apologize for the cursing. I got a little Jamaican lager on board. It's kind of what I had to do to think of how badly they screwed up this ship. All right, we are going into alpha here in the Rozzo. We are running a concealment build. You can see I've got it down to 5.2 kilometers. The first ship we see is a Graf Spee, and I'm going to launch torpedoes at the Graf Spee because I can. Yeah, the big difference between this and the Podvoisky, aside from the fact that this should be a tier 5 or a tier 6 ship, maybe even a tier 5 premium ship, the big difference is that this ship has long range torpedoes. When I say long range, there's an asterisk, long range for Russian torpedoes, 7 kilometers. All right, there's a Mahan. We are going to torp in his general direction. Sorry, had to mute the mic there for a little bit of burping. As you can see, we did get one torpedo to go home. These torpedoes, not necessarily high yield. At the end of the thing, we're going to go over the commander, go over the ship, and all that stuff. I found that these torpedoes aren't necessarily high yield. Sometimes don't lead to flooding. I had that problem with the Bowboy if you watch the Bowboy video. Lots of torpedoes in the Bowboy, not a lot of flooding in my experience with the ship. All right, Graf Spee is moving out of the safety of the smokescreen, moving into the deep water. Yes, sir. All right, and our torpedoes are about to reload. I would love to tell you what the reload time is, but I did not pay attention to it. We're just getting a little closer because he seems to be kind of like edging in and out of our torpedo range. Get another torpedo strike on some other ship over there. Don't know who. Somebody lights us up with sonar. I think maybe the Graf Spee. So we're going to smoke up and break. And there's smoke screen. And I believe he has gotten a little too close for comfort. So I believe, oh, good splash. Yeah, that's not cool. I believe any minute now. Hello, Commander of the Soobrazitelny. What are you waiting for? Torp this guy. Oh, well, I torped the Mahan while I was waiting. Maybe I'm waiting for a torpedo reload. All right, kill number one in the books. We are going to maneuver out of the smoke and turn away. He is getting a little too close for comfort. But yeah, as far as tier 4 destroyers go, really liking the Soobrazitelny. Do not like the implementation of it into the game, but as a standalone issue, do I like the Soobrazitelny? Is it a good destroyer? The answer, in my opinion, is yes. I can't say that about the Bowboy, and I do not have the Kiev, despite 20 crates to this point. I don't think I'm going to buy any more. I have not gotten the Kiev, so that's that. Speaking of that being that Graf Spee is dead. Kill number two. All right, we are sizing up the California here. One of our teammates, a cruiser, is very boldly advancing into the cap. He is torping, and I want to say I think he's going to kill this guy with a very good torp shot. No, well, he damages him. How about that? Sorry, it's been a while since I recorded this one. I don't really remember what went on very well. And when I say it's been a while, it was prior to me grinding arena mode, so I have forgotten in a miasma of horrifying matchmaking. All right, California sees us. We don't care. We launch torpedoes at them. This cruiser is still hanging around. California, really ponderous U.S. battleship. Not bad. Great against aircraft carriers. However, you will notice there are no aircraft carriers in this game. There are also no torpedoes of mine hitting it, but I think this cruiser's torpedoes right here are going to finish him off. Okay, I lied. So we'll keep shooting at him. I really got to commend the Molotov captain. I never would have gotten that close. All right, so he finished him off the old-fashioned way. All right, so our plan, cap this out, then head towards Charlie. I mean, it's a plan. There's really not much else we can do here. Get the cap. Let me look at my thing here real quick. So the Storozhevoy class were a group of 18 destroyers built for the Soviet Navy. Thank you, Wikipedia. In the late 1930s, officially known as Project 7U, Ulesheny improved. That's what that means. Design was finalized in 1936 after initial disappointments with the Gnevi class. The main changes were unit machinery, 4 boilers instead of 3. They strengthened hull and reduced fuel capacity. The AA guns were repositioned to improve firing arcs. The ships fought in World War II. I do want to mention, even though we don't have an aircraft carrier in this game, I like this Soobrazitelny's AA. I think it's very good. Is it great? No. Is it as good as the Mutsuki? No. It's probably about 5 points below the Mutsuki, so about 28, I think, if I'm memorizing correctly. But I think it's pretty solid AA for a Russian ship because they don't have good AA. So I like it. I think some of the destroyers further up the line, like the Kiev and the Utiloi, have better AA. Can't say that about the Boboy, that's for sure. It almost feels like this ship and the Boboy should be switched in the tech tree. I know that sounds crazy. All right, but I think I've waxed out enough about the historical placement of the Soobrazitelny in terms of its development versus where Ouija put it in the tree. I mean, I think we can all admit that doesn't sound right. Okay, that an improvement of a tier 5 ship ends up at tier 4. Whereas the Bowboy, and I've come like, a minute away from a Kraken in the thing. Time ran out as I was trying to kill the last ship. It is just not inspiring. I mean, that would have been one of the weakest Krakens of all time. Not a carry Kraken. It would have been like a pure luck Kraken. Anyway, we are moving across the water here, and it's just going to be me driving for a little bit. So let me tell you another thing about the Storozhevoy class, aka Soobrazitelny, that really pisses me off. Okay, I'm going to read this to you verbatim out of Wikipedia if I can find it. Oh my God, I just lost my place in Wikipedia. And I basically confirmed these changes in my book, Soviet Destroyers of World War II. Stalin ordered that these ships, the improved destroyers, be redesigned with unit machinery so the ship could still move if one of the two boiler or engine rooms were incapacitated. Okay? So when you think about that, you're thinking about the kind of technological change that the United States made in the Fletcher class destroyers. Improve mobility even if the engine room or the boiler room is damaged. Okay? Hold that thought for the end of the video. Please hold that thought because we are going to look at the implementation of the ship. It's down tier. It probably should be a premium ship or at least at the same level of the Ganevi. It's an improvement on the Ganevi. And I just read to you how they've redesigned the machinery internally in the ship in real life to prevent it from being totally disabled in the water. Hold that thought. We'll get back to it later. All right, we are engaging a Tennessee and a Kirov, two of the three ships left. If you've been paying attention, I want to say the third ship is an Okhotnik right over there, having a monster of a game. We're going to shout out the Okhotnik commander at the end of the game. That guy had an incredible match, but his team is still losing. All right, we're spotted by the Tennessee. So we pull out here, you set them on fire, we set some smoke up. Yep, you can go ahead and shoot at me, Mr. Tennessee. And accuracy matters. And why did I do that? Why did I pull forward? Well, I wanted him to start shooting. So, in order for him to remain visible for my about to reload torpedoes to be able to be shot at him. That's why. All right, so now we are safely ensconced in our smoke screen. He is turning away. Akatik just got the high caliber. 1-2 torpedo strikes on the Tennessee, and he is flooding. There is the Kirov, far, far away, as the cadence says. And we are just backing up in our smoke. Not that we're worried about torpedoes, but I am hoping that the Tennessee shoots or becomes visible in some of the way. I think he just shot at somebody, so we can continue shooting at him. We set him on fire. And our smoke screen is coming to an end. He sends some more shots our way. That's great. The Kirov gets killed by our teammate, and look at that. The Okhotnik gets an arsonist for burning down the New York. The Okhotnik is not finished, folks. He is not finished. We get the high caliber for burning damage on the Tennessee, and down goes the Tennessee for kill number 3. Spoiler alert, we are not going to have a battle with the Okhotnik, who's essentially half the map away. It just can't happen. I don't have a speed boost. The ship is not fast enough. There are only 2 minutes 30 left in this match. We are just going to do what we can do. I think in professional sports of which this is not one, they refer to this as playing within yourself. So we're going to play within ourselves and do what we can do, which is capture A. The Okhotnik gets a Witherer medal. Oh gosh, this guy had an amazing game. And the Kraken, he burns down the California. Wow. Impressive. Down tier Okhotnik Kraken. I tip my hat to that guy. Good job. All right, so we're just going to hang out here at the edge of Charlie and get this cap. You know, we can huff and puff all day, but at the end of the match, nobody is going to catch the Okhotnik. And I'm not sure he's really trying. Gamer tag Toro Rozzo. Excellent match, my friend. Excellent, excellent, excellent match in the Okhotnik. All right, so we get our second cap of the match. And now we're just going to drive out into the middle there, kind of where we're aiming right now. See what we can see. There's under a minute left. We don't really have any chance of killing the Iconic. He doesn't really have any chance of killing us. So let's talk about the Soobrazitelny. It's relatively fast, but not speedy, except when it has its engine boost on. It's got good guns, although there are only four of them. It's got longer range torpedoes for a Russian ship. If Russia had a destroyer commander, it would be very tempting to put Torpedo Safari on these torpedoes, but I think Ouija, in their infinite wisdom, determined that that was way too OP. So, all in all, Soobrazitelny, it is a balanced ship, it is good, and that is the end of the battle. All right, so we ended up with 93,258 total damage, 3 kills. We had 7 torpedo strikes, all of which caused flooding, and 2 solo caps. The high caliber medal, we ended up with over 234,000 silver and just short of 4K ship XP and commander XP. There we are at the top of the board, 2631. And again, big hats off to Toro Rozzo, the Kraken Unleashed, and a host of other medals. Excellent, excellent game. If I remember, I will credit you in the title stream. All right, so let's go back to the port, take a look at the Soobrazitelny. In early access, we are using main battery mod 2. Other than that, the ship is fully upgraded. In the loadout here, pretty standard, 2 smoke generators, 2 engine boosts. We are using the common battle booster for speed, the temporary Type 1 camouflage, and the early adopter flag. 11,300 hit points for this build. You got 4 130mm guns, firing range 11 kilometers, reload 7.3 seconds, turret traverse 26.1 seconds, HE shells do 1900 damage with a 9% fire chance, AP shells do 2500 damage. You know, and I would use Trubetskoy, but I don't have him set up as a concealment build. Torpedo launchers, 2 triple tube launchers, reload in 1 minute flat. They do 15,100 damage, 7 kilometer range at 65 knots, and their detectability is 1,400 meters. Good, not great. AA defense, okay, it's only 21. I guess it felt better. It feels better than 21. Okay, so not great, but not terrible either. How about that? Middle of the road. But I like the AA. Maximum speed 37.6 knots, 610-meter turning circle, 6.1 second rudder shift time. Rudder shift not so great. Speed I think is pretty fair. And concealment 5.2 on the surface, 3.1 from the air, 2.5 when firing in smoke. So do you remember when I was talking about how Stalin said, separate the engine room and the boiler room so the ship won't be disabled? Look at this lie right here. Fragile tech. Ship is susceptible to suffering critical damage to her engine and steering gear. The improvement of the design was to prevent that. How can that be on that screen? This is not accurate. Wargaming, get real. This is why the ship was designed the way it is in real life. It shouldn't say fragile tech there. This shouldn't have fragile tech. If anything, you should say the turrets don't traverse very fast. Give me a break. All right, enough about that. And it's not the Soobrazitelny, it's the Storozhevoy. This is the real Storozhevoy. Okay, that other ship, I don't know what that is. You know, somebody told me the name in chat. Who knows if it's real or not in chat on Reddit? Who knows if it's real? But that's not the Storozhevoy. This is the Storozhevoy. Just change the names. Nobody's going to give a crap. Except for the people who care about historical accuracy. But this fragile tech thing really pisses me off. You know, the improved design is specifically to avoid critical damage to the engine steering gear. Come on. Just fix it, Wargaming. Just fix it. Nerf the reload. Make it more detectable. Whatever. Fragile tech. My ass. Give me a break. All right. I don't know how much longer I was expecting to complain about this. So we're just kind of waiting for me to get off the screen at this point. I said what I had to say. I think the ship's been implemented wrong. It's at the wrong tier. It shouldn't be below a ship that it's derived from. And the improvement is not reflected in the end game ship, which is exceedingly disappointing. Should have made it a premium, Should have made it a premium, or you should have put the Bowboy at tier 4. All right, let's look at our commander. Newly promoted level 16 legendary level 3 Anton Gurin. All right, base trait. We got Swirsky and Bay. Base trait improves AP shell damage. I have gotten citadels on broadside cruisers at about 7 kilometers in this Rozzo. Didn't do that this game, have done it in the past. Really think the AP on this new destroyer line is better than the AP in the original line. Just one man's opinion. Maybe it's because I'm running Gurren. I don't know. But that's my observations after playing a ton of games in these Soobrazitelny and a ton of games in the Bowboy. They have better AP shell characteristics. Maybe that's because of his base rate. Who knows? But 7 kilometer away, citadels on a broadside cruiser, I wouldn't sneeze at that. All right, we used Quick Fix in row 1. Thought about no fly zone. I just don't think it would do more than 2 or 3 points of improvement. And if you took the AA mod instead of the main battery mod 2, that turret traverse would be 30 seconds or less, or 30 seconds or more, pardon me. All right, so we went with Quick Fix. We went with Look at Me Now. Perceptive, how can you not choose that at this point? Sidestep and Unstoppable. So that is the Soobrazitelny. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you on the next one.